Well, hello, and welcome back, subscribers and new viewers, to another Sunday Speed Paint. Today we're talking about My Little Pony G4, none of that new stuff. Back in 2013 I made these designs with the assistance of my husband. We had some pony Sonas and some antagonistic characters, and my redesign for 2022 wasn't really redesign. It was more like make Nightmare male alicorn and keep the rest roughly the same. I've redesigned my pony Sona many times because I've never been satisfied, and I never wanted her to be mistaken as an overpowered Mary Sue. I've made Starstorm recently, and this is what I would have as a pony Sona nowadays, but it doesn't exactly fit in the world of My Little Pony, but I still am very happy with it. I feel like no OC necessarily has to fit every single checklist out there, because I think that ruins the moment of it. It doesn't have that specialty to it. Back then, I was very proud of the pony Sona that I had made and all of these OCs, so much so that that's why they still linger around now to these redesigns. The idea of these was actually because it was improvisational story ideas between me and my husband when we first started dating. We were playing Xbox 360 Minecraft in a rebuilt Equestria that we had made ourselves. My husband spent hours making every building, pathway, you name it, as best we could to just have fun. An escapism and a date for us, because we would spend most of our time playing video games for dates. And it was awesome getting to see the weird whimsy of ideas that mostly were my side, but he was very on board with a lot of these funky little ideas, and it was just so much fun getting to hear him voice act some of these other pony characters for the fun of it. Nightmare was supposed to be more of an antagonistic Pegasus, sort of like a twisted evil counterpart to Shadow Dust, and it was like, I'm going to take your girl, which was Crystal Dust. The story that we had for it was Crystal Dust and Shadow Dust had a little girl named Rosebud. They lived happily in the land of Equestria in their own little home, and one night, Crystal Dust fell asleep and kept having these bad dreams, and Nightmare quite literally just magicifies her somehow so that she wakes up in his castle. I'm gonna chalk that up to the fact that I probably really wanted him to be a male alicorn, but there was no such thing at the time. There was very much of a taboo, apparently, of like, how dare you have an alicorn OC for the fandom? Your character's too overpowered, that kind of dumb stuff. Nowadays, I don't care. Call it cringy, call it non-canon, whatever you want. It is my universe of these characters, and the old counterparts to the sort of main six and other characters doesn't really apply as much to these redesigns. Nightmare's name got changed to Alaric because the meaning of it is ruler of all or noble ruler. Alaric in this doesn't have malicious intent. He just really wants someone to rule his castle with him, and he's trying to understand how these ponies work. He doesn't understand because he wasn't raised alongside other noble rulers. He was, unfortunately, an abandoned alicorn, because I'm gonna say that male alicorns aren't as common in this world, but it was a case of his land just kind of unfortunately perished. I'm gonna say that in this one, for many of the male rulers of it, there was just a confusing kind of situation, considering Celestia and Luna ruled happily and peacefully over most of Equestria, and the whole suddenly dragons and griffins and all of that being united by the main six caused every other surrounding nation to have a little bit of conflicted confusion. That's the rough outline of it. It's not perfected. Again, these are revamps and redesigns to the best of my ability, adjusting from an old cringy story. The ideas were there, the concepts just very loosely there. I'm adding as best of 2025 me to the adjustments of the old 2022 version that I did, because 2013 was very cringy. To the best of my knowledge, with a lot of the magic that I would have for Alaric, it would be roughly similar. The ability to enter through dreams or nightmares to be able to bring Crystal Dust to his castle and meet the other hench ponies, and try to have some assistance, but not realizing until it's too late that Crystal Dust isn't an alicorn. She just has magic that can make wings. She has a creative, artistic kind of cutie mark. It's not magic itself. It's more of illusions and creations than anything else that aren't like alive creations either. Alaric can indeed make living creations that are a bit weird. It's not bringing something to life per se in the way that like zombies or bringing brand new souls into the world. It's just a case of the 6 hench ponies were the biggest bunch of magic that Alaric could make, and it kinda was based off of sort of counterparts of other main 6 characters. I mean, green was essentially like Fluttershy, but with plants specifically. Purple was supposed to be kinda like Rarity, but more like insane with all of it. a lot of it didn't really make sense in the old canon of this world, but it was what it was. Now, with all of these ponies and their redesigns and names, the main thing that I kept consistent is that they all have the same gray bodies. I want to say it could almost be like an animated kind of, maybe they were once like inanimate pony dolls, kind of like how Rarity's boutique has the like display dolls for the ponies, maybe something like that was brought to life, maybe adding a cutie mark gave them that spark, something like that. I'm really struggling with trying to figure out how this could really like work for it, but ignore some of that and just roll with it with me. So, I renamed red to crimson, and the cutie mark was supposed to be, like, initially it was a broken yin and yang symbol, but I thought, what if it was two snakes as a yin and yang, to kind of have that mixed to the symbolism of it, where Crimson is unfortunately very angry. He was meant to be a very strong earth pony, sort of guard to the castle, meant to be able to have that balance of being seen as calm and civil, and then, when needing to, unleashing some anger. That balance isn't quite there. The snakes, if anyone knows how snakes are kind of like backstabby in most kind of things, that's what I was aiming for. Melody, once known as Yellow, was more of just a straightforward, their voice carried over with a unfortunate tone deafness. In this version, Melody sings in a more punk rock instead of a sweet lullaby. Then we move on to Orange, known as Nox. Theirs is straightforward. It is a very explosive magic. See, with Crystal Dust and Nox, and even Azul, previously known as Blue, the unicorns in this, their magic isn't magic itself. They're not like Twilight. They're not like any of the others who can use magic of all different branches. It is specifically towards it. Crystal Dust makes a more artsy illusion magic. Nox makes explosions for magic. And Azul makes sort of like water vapors turn into water. It's a very weak magic. They can't spawn giant waves of oceans and basically waterbend. They can't do such extremes with it. It is straightforward and simple, the bare bones for it, but it fits for them as best as I could, because Azul is one of the more outliers of them. They don't exactly understand why they were brought to the castle, because they don't feel like they're strong enough to do anything around the castle except for helping tidy up here and there. Nox is also very dangerous with everything because of the explosive magic, so if they wanted to levitate something, it might also explode. And then we move on to the last two, Wisteria, previously known as Purple, who's a Pegasus who loves the fine arts and craftsy side of gems more so than anything. It's more of an obsessive detail kind of thing. They fly up to the banisters of the castle to make it look really pretty, and they have this like rainbow gem thing with these gold petals around it to kind of mix with that whole vibe, and their hair is kind of where their name came from, the Wisteria. If you've ever seen the Wisteria plants, they are gorgeous, but they also meet kind of like endurance, immortality, or beauty. I wanted to kind of combine that all together. Last we have Vera, previously known as Green. I almost accidentally made them a greenish Applejack, so I quickly fixed that by pulling their mane up into a sort of like bun. I'm not sure what the style term for that is, but their hair is very loosely put up in a bun because they don't really want it to get in the way when they're tending to the plants of the castle. Each of them kind of plays different roles for it. You got bodyguards, you got those who can help around the castle with decorating and plants and music and all of that, but not in the ways that you would expect them to be. Dutifully, and just kind of like how all of the other ponies of Equestria could seem to be all cheery, friendly, elegant, everything in orderly form. These are more chaotically they're not exactly chaotic like Discord per se, they're not what they were initially sort of thought to be. But Nightmare, now known as Alaric, adores them all and treats them all as proper citizens of the castle, and are the only ones that they really have left with them, because Alaric used to rule alongside other normal ponies from different parts of Equestria. It's just that things kind of got chaotic. They were left to their own devices, and to the best of what they did with their magic, created these 6 to help them, eventually meeting Crystal Dust and so forth. But that's kind of all I've got for now. I didn't get to redesign Shadow Dust or Rosebud for this, but I will work on their reference sheets separately and post it all together. But on a final note, I am so proud of these redesigns. 2013, of course, classic. They wouldn't exist without them. 2022 can go sit and collect dust. These are so spot on to what I had in mind at the time, but now I feel more artistically able to share it with you the way that I initially wanted to. And Alaric is just chef's kiss. I am so glad I made him a male alicorn and stuck to it, and Crystal Dust's design fits so much better for me as a pony Sona. So thanks so very much for making it to the end of today's video, and stay possum. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so very much. If you have not already, don't forget to leave some likes and comments and subscribe to join the Subscribblers squad. In the meantime, don't forget to check out some of my playlists, and if you would like any fan artwork featured at the end of the video in the Subscribblers gallery, tag me in it. I would love to see what you guys make. And if you'd like to support my works and see more, check out my card link below, especially for the patron exclusive rewards. £2 a month, the Fennec Fox tier gets you access to secret sketches and artwork early. The Arctic Foxes, for £5 a month, you get exclusive access to videos and webtoons pages early, and the Red Foxes have the opportunity to be featured as a background character or a commission instead, and your name read out at the end of the videos just like this. Thank you so much to Frankie Jr. 13. Stay possum, Subscribblers, and I'll see you real soon.